I like to call myself a storyteller more than a poet, so I'll start with a story that is told of a young man who went to his father and demanded for his inheritance, and then he left home. He squandered some and gambled some. He left nothing to chance. Unfortunately, then came famine, and poverty came upon him like a bandit, and scarcity like an armed man. And when the luxury of basic he could no longer afford, all the friends he had made suddenly became bored. He was left with no option but to dine and wine with swine, simply because what he had demanded for, though rightfully his, he wasn't ready to handle, so he prodigaled it. Prodigal, to be recklessly extravagant and spend resources. And with this meaning in mind, I ask us who want Nigeria, for though our demands are valid, so are the fears that doubt the readiness with which we come. Zealous and passionate, the markers of youth, yet character and competence, we need evidence of this being built, for while Nigeria is ours for the taking, the problem is in the keeping. While Nigeria is ours for the ruling, the question is in the quality of the governing. And while Nigeria is ours for the owning, the reservation is in the maintaining. For you see, it is easy to take what we want, easier still to state what we want. But we must understand that true responsibility simply must go way beyond the mistakes of the past, are the roadmaps to the roads we must never take. So while we might sit back in relentless criticism of the labors of our heroes past, let us understand that this criticism will take us nowhere. We have appointed ourselves justices, on them judgments we have passed. But you see, no one really plans to fail. But in the absence of intentionality on how to succeed, therein we fail. Let's count the current failings, shall we? Darkness, literally and figuratively. Acute insecurity, disregard for human life, unemployment, underdevelopment. The list can go on and on and on. Yet the failings of the current leaders are only questioned to us, the incoming builders. Because if we do not have a plan, we stand the risk of the prodigality of our country. Nigeria is a rich country, bountiful in natural resources, plentiful in human resources. Resilience was our motto. We were the true definition of black that don't crack. However, crack like an egg. We not only cracked, we started to break, simply because character was missing and unity was absent. So as we demand to take back Nigeria, as we stand to ask for Nigeria, let us ensure that we are building a system that would hold sure and stand the test of time. Let our unity be the point where we begin, looking beyond religious differences and state of origin. Let merit and credibility our grading systems rule. Let honesty be our topmost value. Let us have genuine regard for human life, loving our neighbors and shunning this life of strife. Let hard work become a thing that is celebrated, and justice not just a word that is overrated. Dear Nigerian youth, before we ask for Nigeria to be given, let us sit and understand that this is not a choice, it's not an option, it's a given. Because whether or not we stand and take Nigeria now, nature don't lie. Because last, the current leaders will go the ancestors' route, and Nigeria will be ours. But the question is, what will Nigeria be with us? Would she go back to being the giant of Africa, standing tall as a leader, reuniting peace and unity? Will she ensure true democracy, building not just wealth for her children, but legacy? Would she be to us the mother we never had, nurturing her children, our children, loving them also very hard? Will she multiply resources, divide issues, and be to the world problem solution sources? Who would Nigeria be to us? a voice to be listened to, a force to be reckoned with? Will insecurity continue to be the order of the day? Will social injustice keep reigning, come what may? Would we sit down and tell our children tales by moonlight? Literally, because electricity is now history and that's the only light. Will our citizens keep running for second-hand citizenship just to save their lives? Will our youth take to the streets? Because of unemployment, they can't handle the heat. Who will Nigeria be with us? The questions are endless. And while we can nod and shake our heads to each question, I want to come home and ask each and every person, who will Nigeria be with you? What steps have you been taking? What's your effort to raise her up from the rubble and make her a mighty fort? Who have you empowered? Who have you corrected? What new skills have you learned? What rules have you refused to see being bent? What new positive steps are you taking? What line of expertise have you begun making? Nigeria is ours for the taking. But before and even as we ask, gimme Nigeria, let us sit and ask ourselves, am I ready? If Nigeria is given to me today, who will she be with me? Thank you.